the box. What? What are you looking at? You're trying to look at my I'm not. I was just. Natsuki, don't try to move. Just give me the box. You perv. You set me up. God damn it. Anime Brady. I fucking knew he would fumble. He was born, destined to fumble. He's been coded for fumbling his entire fucking life. Hello, and welcome back to Therapist Plays Doki Doki Literature Club. All right, it's time for our second poem in this Natsuki route, so we can spend some more time and peel back the layers of our pouty, pink-haired princess, who so far has shown us a unique new side to Anime Brady, which I do not find entirely unpleasant. Because here's the thing. He didn't really have to like try very hard with Yuri. You know, she was kind of on board from the beginning. He has to fight for Natsuki, and I think that pulls out some great qualities of his. Plus, I like that, you know, the romance comes from a little bit of conflict between the two of them. Okay, maybe that's like one of my something to look into for me. But I think a lot of good can come from fighting in a certain sense. What I mean is that people often reveal their values when they are stretched and mended by resolution, and relationships are about rupture and repair, okay? So, you know, a little bit of tension, a little bit of conflict is actually kind of good for developing their connection, okay? So it's a good thing that we kind of have to chase Natsuki. Why do I feel like I'm explaining myself rather than explaining the characters here? Look, this is not a series digging into me, okay? I know I'm not doing myself any favors by continuing on with this, so I'm just going to pick some cute words so that we can talk more with Natsuki now. We know what some of them are. I think this is like kind of the same list of stuff. I don't want to totally leave out some Sayori words, and we'll go with cute. Another day passes, and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the last couple of days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Brady. Yo. Sorry, I still don't think he's a yo kind of person. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. It's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. You know, actually, the second time through this, I think I was being quite uncharitable to Anime Brady before. I'm pretty sure I read this in his caveman voice, or at least found this to be like more insulting towards Sayori. But you know what? Not everything needs to be super complex. In fact, I think that Anime Brady and Real Brady as well can appreciate that some things are supposed to be and benefit from being simple. And maybe that's what Sayori is to him, you know? I really wanted him to see the, what are to me very visible conflicts within her, and for him to take some initiative to help her with those things. And now that I know that that's impossible for him, I will forgive his necessary ignorance and give him some grace. Which is to say that Sayori to him is probably just a very safe, dependable person who shows up for him in a very consistent way. And that might be something that he really needs. There's a lot of emotions flying around in a young boy's head. I'm sure all the more confused by hanging out with all of these girls. But Sayori is special to him. She is a known factor. Something he can depend on. A familiar port in a sea of uncertain waters. Speaking of which, I'm kind of hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Okay, I can clearly see that he is not being a jerk here, but he's being playful and coy. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? What? Why that all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then, she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the clubroom. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. Goddamn, Detective Brady on the case here. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves the one option. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Everybody's so fucking shady and suspicious and constantly caught off guard. You all know what's going on here. Yuri, tell Brady to let me borrow some money. That's... Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can reasonably afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. Did I just... I didn't mean that. I get so absorbed in my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the retribution. That. Oh, she is just so adorable. Still, coming from you, Sayori, I guess there's a little devil inside of all of us, isn't there? Do not let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. Sayori is a little bit of a mastermind. And I do think that she knows she benefits by acting a bit ditzy, okay? Because it does activate a certain protective instinct in her close friends. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Pwap! Ow! What was... a cookie. Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Oh, yeah, coming back to this with more knowledge of everything that's going on, like, the Literature Club is a pretty healthy place of playfulness and friendship without Monika here, which I think just makes the atmosphere a little more self-serious. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears into the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Oh, Sayori suddenly clasps her hand over her mouth. I bit my tongue. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do I think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Jeez, I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mouthful, Sayuri trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monika, can you tell Sayuri... Natsuki glances around. Monika isn't in the clubroom. Where's Monika anyways? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. It's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. Ooh, I know this isn't Yuri's route. she had her chance, but I kind of got to dig into that comment a little bit because I think it's actually relevant to all three, well, really all four of the Dokis. I know this is being said in a playful way, but we know that there is like a self-belief in that statement, which is like, I'm undesirable. And they each have some variation of this, right? Like Natsuki has frequent negative thoughts of like, people are gonna judge me, or people are judging me, or I don't fit in. Sayuri has thoughts like, I'm never gonna get better, right? Like, I can't work my way out of this depression. And there's a number of ways to think about that kind of self-dialogue. We might call them like self-limiting narratives because they're quite definitive. But there's actually an even simpler way of trying to change the self-perception that I'll often try to work with someone on when I hear this like very hard set value judgment that someone makes of themselves. Like, you know, it's not being said explicitly here, but wrapped in this comment is, I'm undesirable. For Natsuki, I don't fit in. For Sayuri, like, I won't get better, or like, he'll never love me. And it's such a simple idea, but it is kind of complicated to like get familiar with, which is that language is so important for how we think about ourselves. Language is how we organize our perceptions of reality. It's how we communicate our identity and our values to other people. It's how we interpret other people's values. And as we've discussed at length in this series, miscommunication and imprecision in language can mean the difference between two people being on the same page and being very far from one another. Despite actually sharing lots of similarities or even having the same view of things, communication breakdowns can limit that harmony. So language is actually super important, like how you formulate your thoughts, how you talk about things. I'm starting off this way because the thing that I'm about to describe, some people struggle with because they see it as just kind of like a trick of language. Like, oh, instead of saying like, I can't do this, I'll just change my thoughts to, I haven't done this yet. And like, there's a little bit of value in that as well. But there's a bigger purpose to how to think about these like self-identified statements. And it's really great actually to try for yourself. If you find yourself landing on some of these kind of negative self-evaluation statements, like, I'm not a good student, or I'm never gonna pass this class, or if I fail this, I'll never recover. People don't understand me, and so I'll, never be close to anyone. Like, these things are just sort of flying around in everybody's mind at one point or another. And so what we wanna do is make a distinction between a thought and how you feel about that thought. Which a thought like, I'm undesirable, like Yuri is kind of hinting at here. The thought is just information. What really makes us feel insecure is how we feel about that thought. It's actually like, that idea kind of scares me. The fact that it feels real to me, the thought of being undesirable kind of makes me upset, okay? And actually what we want to do here is try to separate these two things more and more with what we would call diffusion, okay? Fusion being, these two things are stuck together right now. The thought, I'm undesirable, and the feeling I have about it. It makes me feel upset. It makes me feel insecure and worthless and hopeless. We actually don't care that much about the thought because the thought is just like the content, the train on which those feelings arrived in your mind and in your heart. So we want to do diffusion. We want to unfuse the relationship between the thought itself and its feeling. There's a couple ways we can do that. And the simplest version is actually one of these little tricks of language. But like I said, it will have a different impact than just changing the verb structure. We have all these self-identifying thoughts like, I'm worthless, I'm undesirable, I'm not enough. And to diffuse your feelings from those thoughts, you would recognize the thoughts as entirely neutral things by changing them to something like, I'm thinking about how I feel undesirable. I'm noticing the sensation of fear right now. My judgments about myself are really active right now. And all of these examples are actually like taking you one step back from the thoughts you're having, and you're being more of an observer than a participant in them. So instead of the thing that you're experiencing being the feeling of being undesirable, we're shifting our focus to the fact that I'm thinking about this feeling, but I'm not having the feeling. I'm just thinking about it. I'm witnessing, I'm observing it rather than experiencing it as a integrated understanding of myself. And doing that is diffusing the emotional content from the thoughts themselves as they come to you. And like I said, the reason that this is important and not just a trick of language is because language is how we organize our sense of self. Okay, it's the stories we tell about ourselves, how we reinforce them, how we take in information from other people. And when we take in information from ourselves, it does benefit us to draw a line between the thoughts that I'm having and how I feel about them. And you might hear me sometimes say, I'm acting like a fucking idiot right now. And to diffuse that would be to say that I'm noticing that I'm having thoughts about being a fucking idiot. One of those is like me experiencing idiocy and the consequences of that on my own self-esteem. And more than like, I'm just noticing the fact that those thoughts are crossing through my mind. There is a slight distance to them. And the reason that this is preferred to just sort of trying to say, no, you are desirable, is because we do actually want to recognize why those thoughts have occurred and give them some weight, and that they are the source of like negative feelings about yourself. If we just try to say, no, you're not an idiot, Brady, you're actually you're a genius. Okay, then I am like trying to ignore or suppress relevant feelings of inadequacy that are worthy of our like exploration and processing. It's natural though for our friends, for example, to just say like, oh no, like you're not terrible, you're actually really great, or no, don't call yourself ugly, you're beautiful. And we're just sort of trying to pacify the negative feelings instead of recognizing that they're there, but separating ourselves from them. Because then you get choice of like whether or not you want to engage and fuse with them. Like, you know, having positive thoughts like, you know, I'm feeling really happy right now. I'm having thoughts about feeling happy. And do I want to be in those thoughts, right? So like it becomes more about agency and engagement with the material of your thoughts rather than this just sort of immediate reaction to them that just because I'm thinking about it must mean, one, the feelings I have are inherently true, and then that the thought is true, I'm undesirable. And the ability to do this, diffusion, cognitive diffusion, it's really valuable for self-esteem work and cognitive behavioral therapy, but it also can lead to some psychological resilience, like I suspect Natsuki is in wealthy possession of. And I don't think that she's doing this specifically, but I do get a sense that part of her strong convictions of character come from being willing to challenge whether the fact that she feels judged by someone else means that she should judge herself that way, because she sometimes feels like, oh, people think my, you know, manga and anime stuff is lame. Does that make me actually lame for caring about it? No, I don't think she comes up to that idea. She's a little insecure about it because it's looked down on, but she stops short of saying, well, if people are judging me for this and I feel negative about that, then this must be a negative quality of mine. She, when she's open to it, is like quite proud and quite attached to her interest, and is like not really willing to take people's shit about it. So there's like a little kind of variant of diffusion going on that I think she has. Whereas the other two girls, and probably also Monika, their thoughts and feelings about themselves are a little more fused in kind of self-limiting ways. Yuri's ideas about like, I'm a quiet and strange person. I have these strange dark thoughts, and that makes me strange and dark. Sayori's like very close attachment to her condition. Like, you know, I've been living with depression. Like, this is like a big part of me. One way I've heard the relationship here being described is like, your mind is like the sky and your thoughts are like the weather. They kind of come and go, but they're not essentially linked. The weather just takes place in the sky, but they actually don't really interact with one another in a fundamental way. So just because you're thinking about it and that thought gives you feelings about it doesn't mean that that is an essential part of you, right? So diffusion, very valuable skill. And sometimes, like when I'm sort of helping someone develop that skill, if someone just says things like, oh, she's probably more desirable than all of us combined, I might just do the diffusion after having told them what it is and kind of come back with, you're having thoughts of being undesirable. There are thoughts of comparison running through your mind right now. Like I'll kind of do a bit of the diffusion to kind of guide the thinking towards that, rather than like you're comparing yourself. Thoughts of comparison are going through your mind right now, right? It's the difference between like sky and weather. Like you're having a bad day, it's storming, versus like there's a storm passing through your day. Again, small difference in a linguistics sense, but trust me, building momentum with this skill can be the difference between like very stuck, negative, self-defeating storylines and someone who, this is not going to change your life, right? Diffusion, but it will prepare you to engage with your life in a very different way, which is one that's more deliberate and conscious of the separation between thoughts and emotions. So I would offer this as something valuable for everyone in the story and in life. It's just something to see like how you feel. How do you feel if you put this into practice? That's true. Excuse me? See how they all felt about it, right? Like Sayori's like, oh, that's true. Of course, I'm less desirable than Monika. And Natsuki taking umbrage with that. Like those are real emotional reactions because they immediately took it into personal association. Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. Hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Monika chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. But boyfriend, what on earth are you talking about? Monika quizzically glances at me. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring, at least. I must not have heard it, since I was practicing piano. God, so all the way back here, she was plotting and scheming. All those thoughts of, you know, I'm not valuable unless I'm attached to something more real than this world and these characters. I think it plays into what I'm talking about here with diffusion, that part of what made the circumstances so painful for Monika is like her association with the place I'm living in is not real, so I must have no inherent value unless I can sort of break out of this. Piano. wasn't aware you played music as well, Monika. I don't really. I just kind of started recently. I always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monika. That's... Monika looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay! That sounds cool. So look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Brady. Monika smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently. And I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So, I didn't miss anything, did I? No, not really. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. Looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri's back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. It's not long before Natsuki comes up to me, expectedly. Yeah, don't worry. I kept my promise. I pull the first volume of Parfait Girls out from my bag. Natsuki takes it from my hands, then quickly turns it over, presumably to check for wrinkles. Ooh. Oh. The immediate mistrust. Hey, I'm not that careless. I handle manga all the time, you know. I just wanted to make sure. Can you blame me for being paranoid? I don't give many people my manga every day, you know. Oh, it's actually sweet that she's changing, like, some very ingrained habits for us. That's true. I don't blame you. Well, anyway, let me put this one back. I'm gonna get the next one, okay? Natsuki makes her way to the closet. I follow. So you're gonna tell me everything you thought, right? Where did this volume leave off again? I forget. Ah, the chapter ended when Minori and Alice found Monika! Natsuki's voice resonates from inside of the closet. I peer inside. All of Natsuki's books are lined up on the shelf. Did you move my manga again? Sorry. The teacher got mad at me for taking up so much space in her closet, so I had to move some stuff around and clean up a little bit. It's all still there. I just had to organize it a bit. Well, isn't that fucking great for you, Monika? Isn't that just great for you in particular? With Natsuki being so concerned about simple wrinkles in her collection, just the thought of Monika handling the sacred texts is complete heresy. The top shelf is far above Natsuki's head. She makes a futile hop, trying to figure out how to reach her manga. Oh, that's adorable. Why would Monika do this? Is it, like, truly just to fuck with her? I mean, by this point, Monika already knows the circumstances of reality, so I think it is just to fuck with her. Which is a special kind of cruelty. Like, it's not, you know, tweaking someone's depression symptoms or anything. It's like, I'm just gonna put these up higher than you can reach. Get fucked. Jeez. This is so inconvenient. I'm moving all these back down. There's plenty of room on the shelves. And besides, they're really pretty to look at when they're all lined up. Why would you waste that on the top shelf? Natsuki, there's a stool on the wall there. In the closet, there's a collapsible stool that's hanging onto the wall. If you want, I can reach up there and hand them to you. I can get them myself. Natsuki grabs the stool from the wall and unfolds it. You think I'm too short? Or something? I mean, I knew it! Well, you know what? Just watch me. Natsuki hops onto the stool, which ends up being a little wobbly because of its collapsible design. Careful. I know what I'm doing. Standing on the stool, Natsuki's fingertips reach the top shelf. The stool would be enough for me to easily grab the books, but Natsuki's being stubborn as usual. Natsuki uses her fingers to scoot one of the smaller books to the edge of the shelf. See? Ah! The box suddenly tips. Natsuki barely catches it before it falls to the floor. The stool wobbles. Losing balance, Natsuki hops off the stool. Thankfully, she was able to stay on her feet. She holds the box triumphantly. There! Having almost fell, Natsuki is a bit shaken up. Jeez, no need to prove yourself to me. Yeah. No need, Natsuki. We're easily impressed. There's no way you'll be able to get the bigger boxes like that. I can reach them, so just... I said I can do it. I don't want your help, okay? Ooh, what's behind this? It's kind of tapping into some of those thoughts that I think are passing through her mind. Like, I have to be able to do this myself. I'm only strong and independent if I deny all help, right? And I think that there's a certain part of that that gives her some good traits, like some self-direction and some confidence, but you can see how it's upsetting her. It's upsetting her to be offered help, right? It's not like I'm saying, get out of the way, shorty. You can't get those boxes, little madam. Like, that's not the conversation we're in. We're just trying to help her. In fact, we're like trying to do so to be nice and to appeal to her, but she's taking it as, you think I'm inadequate. You think I can't do this. You want me to surrender control over my abilities by submitting to your fucking patriarchy bullshit. And I think that the difference between being able to see this as like someone who is clearly getting invested in our budding relationship, wanting to help, and mistaking that for like judgments of her being somehow inadequate or incapable of doing it herself. I think it's because she's associating so closely with the thought of, I'm feeling inadequate, or I'm feeling judged, or I'm feeling like I'm losing control over the situation because someone else is trying to control it. And not just recognizing those as like neutral thoughts that are crossing her mind because of the context that she's in. I'm having thoughts of being out of control. Like, that's a much less scary idea than I'm feeling out of control, which is making me feel scared and small and like less independent or whatever. Like, you can see how the insecurities are coming from her feelings about the thoughts she's having more so than the thoughts themselves. Diffusion would help a lot here. I'm gonna get a chair, so just hang on. Natsuki forces her way past me out of the closet. Let's see. The classroom chairs have the desks attached, so they're too inconvenient to fit into the closet. Aha! Natsuki trots over to the teacher's desk, which has a computer chair behind it. She rolls it over on the wheels back to the closet. Ah! It's a little dangerous, since the chair swivels and rolls, going so far as to put herself in potential danger to satisfy the fears and insecurities she's having about these thoughts of inadequacy. But I've already learned my lesson, so I will keep my mouth shut. Where has this wisdom been in other routes, Anime Brady? Natsuki climbs onto the chair, then slowly bounces onto her feet. Since she refuses my help, I take a seat with my back against the side of the doorway and simply watch. I do appreciate that he's indulging this, because it's really not like his issue to force, right? It would be kind of annoying for like your friends to say these kinds of things like, oh, you're not really experiencing fears. You're having thoughts of the experience of fear. Like, this would be super fucking annoying. It's okay for me to say it because, you know, I'm supposed to say that kind of shit as a therapist. I'm supposed to be encouraging different ways of thinking, but like for this guy, best thing he can do is steer clear. Otherwise, he's going to get slapped up. Aha! There we go. See, I can easily do it now. Natsuki grabs a stack of manga and bends down to put it on the shelf below. Oh! The chair swivels. Natsuki catches herself on the shelf. What are you doing? Can you at least hold the chair steady instead of sitting and doing nothing? Damn, he might actually get slapped up anyways. Who was it who told me not to help? Yeah, I got you. I hold the chair while Natsuki reaches back up. I can almost see up her skirt. I force myself to turn away. Yeah, you fucking better, you degenerate. Natsuki seriously didn't think this through. Once she realizes, I'll be dead. Ha! Natsuki wraps her arms around the Parfait Girls box set. Easily the largest one on the shelf. It's heavy. Hey, Brady. I don't think I can bend down without falling. Hurry and take this one. But then I have to let go of the chair. That's fine. Just for a second. Hurry up. All right. Let me just stand up. I slowly release my grip from the chair. What do you mean, stand up? Natsuki looks down at me. Why are you all the way back? Natsuki looks like she just realized something, but she'll lose her balance if she moves. Natsuki, the box... What? What are you looking at? You're trying to look at my... Natsuki's legs shake. I'm not. I was just... Natsuki, don't try to move. Just give me the box. You perv! You set me up. God damn it. Anime Brady, I fucking knew he would fumble. He was born, destined to fumble. He's been coded for fumbling his entire fucking life. Go away. Get out. But I'll do it myself. The chair suddenly swivels beneath Natsuki's feet. Natsuki. Ah! The scene turns to chaos in a split second. The chair flies from under Natsuki's feet. Frantically, I try to catch her. Oh, fucking jeez. The box topples out of her hands and the books go flying. I got you. Destined to fumble. Crash. The full force of Natsuki's body against me throws me into the ground. A whole bunch of books pelt me in the face. Natsuki tries to shield herself with her own arms as her face lands straight on my chest. My right arm and my back seriously felt the impact. Slowly, Natsuki comes to her senses. She presses her arms straight into me to prop herself up. Natsuki seems to realize that it's not the floor that's beneath her. Gross! A fist pounds into my chest. Yeah, fucking lay into this buffoon. Okay, I actually think in this situation, he was trying to do the right thing. He found himself in a very precarious situation. He noticed that and still tried to provide her with both safety and comfort. And he also tried not to embarrass her. Otherwise, he would have maybe said like, hey, by the way, like, this is a pretty compromising situation. So he was actually thinking in her best interest and his own, because he doesn't want to get fucking slapped up like he is literally getting slapped up right now. Bashed up even. So I can't blame him for how this turned out. Natsuki then hoists herself onto her feet. What were you thinking? You sicko. Damn. Everything okay up here? Fucking, of course. Monika wants in on the action. I heard a loud noise. Monika suddenly peers in. Monika! See what happens when you put the manga on the top shelf. Are you trying to kill your club members or something? Jeez. Sorry. Not fucking sorry. Oh, and one more thing. It seems like your most recent club member is a total pervert. So I hope you're happy. I didn't... Somehow, it's impossible for me to explain this whole bizarre situation to Monika. I didn't do anything. I swear. I know, don't worry. Monika says that quietly to me. Looks like I'm off the hook. Yeah, like we have to explain ourselves to fucking Monika. I think you need to explain yourself to Natsuki here. Oh no, my. I look down. Natsuki is kneeling on the floor, holding one of the books that are scattered all over. There's a large diagonal crease along the page that she's desperately trying to smooth out. It must have landed on the page. Natsuki tries a bit more to fix the crease, but she can't get it out. Suddenly, she gives up and slams the book shut, throws it on the floor. Instead of continuing to yell, she just lowers her head. Oh. She's literally doesn't have the energy to keep up the abrasiveness. Natsuki, are you? No. Natsuki's voice squeaks. I see tears on her face. I'll help get the crease out, okay? It's partially my fault, so... Natsuki shakes her head, still looking down. No. I don't even care that much. I'm just... having a really bad day today. Natsuki sobs again. I didn't mean to take it out on you. Oh, this is heartbreaking. Why? What's going on, Natsuki? I really didn't mean to. It's fine. Is there anything that you want to talk about? Like I've been saying, I like this Brady. I think that he's so much more sensitive to what's going on, and there's just much less of a blind spot for what's really going on, despite the presumed affection for the character that we're choosing. Natsuki shakes her head. Just every day is so hard. I just want to come to the club, and Natsuki falls silent again. I can't press her, so I can only do what I know how to do. Listen? All right. Well, I'll help clean this up, and I'll move the rest of your manga for you. I pick up volume 2 of Parfait Girls. I'll set this one aside. This will help cheer you up a bit, right? We can get started on it once I'm done here. Wait, he's so nice. Where has he been? Natsuki looks up with her glossy eyes. Her lip quivers. And think about what this means to Natsuki as well. She's been skeptical of us because we are entering her life at a chaotic time. Again, we still don't know exactly what's going on, but I have a lot of suspicions that it's stuff going on at home. She's said that literature club was kind of her escape from that. And here you have someone who is showing interest in her, isn't judging her for who she is, has tried to offer help without expecting anything in return, is consoling her, and is also not trying to solve the problem, okay? Big fucking point in Anime Brady's favor here. He's not trying to solve the problem and dig into her issues, because it's really whether she wants to talk about them or not. But he's holding the space for these big emotions that she doesn't really have a space for anywhere else. So what does that all mean to her? Well, it's something new. It's not something that she's used to. She's used to comparing herself to people like Yuri, who is tall and endowed, as she's made comments about. She feels belittled by Monika and has had to keep up this sort of toughness every day, not just at literature club, but at home as well. And what a relief to finally not have to keep that up, just for a moment. To feel safe enough around someone that you don't need to. You're really nice to me. Sounds really strange coming from Natsuki. I didn't expect it at all. And I actually think that this means he's not making calculations here about what to say and what not. Like, this is just what he feels natural doing, being nice. I like this Brady. I like the shape that his dynamic with Natsuki takes. Well, I'm just treating you like a friend, you know? Natsuki lowers her head and stifles another sob. I'm not sure what happened to her today, but being nice is the least I can do. The next couple of minutes are silent between us as I begin gathering the scattered books. I make sure to slip them into the box in their correct order. After a little bit, Natsuki starts helping. Oh. It isn't long before we're done, and I hoist the box onto the shelf where Natsuki wanted to put it. Then, I get on the stool and I quickly finish moving the rest of her books from the top shelf. All right, that should do it. I hop off the stool. Natsuki averts her gaze. Thanks. So, also take note of this stance, this posture. I've said before how wonderful this game is at showing character in body language, despite them only having like a few different stills. But she has this sort of like shoulders up, clenched fists down, and this sort of pouty like this, right? But both of those stances are very tense, okay? And people experience anxiety in all different kinds of ways, but the kind that Natsuki has reminds me of what it would feel like if I were to say to someone, like, I'm going to hit you in the arm and it's going to hurt, right? This would cause someone to sort of tighten up, protect themselves, and clench tight to brace for the hit, right? It's a natural response. If I also told someone then, I'm going to hit you in the arm in 5 days, that person clenching up like this and bracing for 5 days like this, holding in all their energy, knowing that something is going to hit them in the next 5 days, but they don't know when. And so they're just holding this tension, expecting it to come. You would be pretty sensitive to even small things, wondering if that was going to be the hit. And you would also be exhausted, anticipating it, especially if it never actually comes. And to me, that's a kind of anxiety that we're bracing for the impact of something that we only just expect, right? There's no guarantee that something is going to hit us that requires us to build up this much tension, but we don't want to experience an unguarded hit, whether that hit be like literal, actual physical or some sort of emotional thing. And so we're just tensed up like this all the time. And this moment is like the first time that Natsuki has been able to like not be like that. Like literally letting the guard down. And think of the physical release of tension that would cause. I think that's why she was sobbing. I think that's why she came with such a clarity about, I'm not really mad at you about this. I'm just having a rough day. I'm having a rough life. It's tough. It's tough to go around bracing for something that you don't know is going to come. And she's doing that because she's used to it. She's used to taking hits, possibly even like actual ones. We don't know. But she knows she has to do a little bit of this around Monika. She knows she has to protect herself a little bit around Yuri, and she certainly felt like she had to do this around Anime Brady. And it's a surprising thing to realize that this is not someone she needs to be so tense and guarded around. But that's a scary thought, to be vulnerable with someone. It's nothing. Natsuki's holding the volume I set aside in her hands. All right, I'm ready. Good. Even if you weren't, it'd make you anyway. You're taking responsibility for what you said. The thing about cheering me up, if you insist. Oh, I love them together. We sit in the same spot as last time, and I open the second volume. Natsuki's mood quickly improves. laughing and pointing things out to me. She's surprisingly sharp, making note of a lot of subtle repeated jokes and background elements. In the end, I'm pretty impressed by how everything ties together in this manga. I guess Natsuki has good taste after all. After some time, Monika gets our attention as usual, and it's time to share poems again. Guess I'll be holding this for now. Yep. Even you sound more enthusiastic this time. Well, I'm starting to get into it, you know. Told you. Yeah. I returned to my seat and slipped the book into my bag. Who should I share my poem to first? Well, of course, we're gonna dive straight into Natsuki's. Natsuki reads my poem. She keeps glancing at me, then back at the poem. By now, she must have read it more than once. Ugh. Is it that bad? No, it's not. It's good. It's really good, okay? There. Said it. This wasn't supposed to happen at all. Why can't you just be bad at this? My poems are supposed to impress you, not the other way around. You're trying to impress me. It's also a shock. Shock for Anime Brady. And here I'm also thinking like, hey, you know what? In this version, there's plenty to be impressed by. Like, I find him to be pretty emotionally intelligent, very emotionally mature, sensitive to complicated emotions, and so far knowing how to navigate them, not by being too involved, not by being too avoidant, just sort of holding the space and listening. Don't feel so inadequate, Brady. You're doing more than fine. This is the real twist of the playthrough, though, that like, I actually love this Anime Brady. He's great. Obviously. You think I'd let you enjoy Yuri's writing more than mine? Give me a break. Well, in that case, what's the problem with me trying to impress you? I'll tell you, Natsuki's face freezes, like she just realized something. You're trying to impress me? Natsuki vigorously scans her eyes over my poem one more time. Then the poem slips out of her hands and flutters to the floor. I have to use the bathroom. Oh. It's like sad that the first sign of someone recognizing her as a person to want to impress is just like melting her away. This is a really like low self-evaluation in that, unfortunately. Red-faced, Natsuki quickly walks out of the room. Hey, Brady. Did you do something to Natsuki? If I did, Monika, it's actually none of your business. And I don't like the mixed modes here, okay? She's giving me her concerned face with her power stance. And I'm noticing the feelings of being in trouble, which is different than feeling that I'm in trouble, because I'm not, because you're not my fucking mom, Monika, nor my girlfriend. You're the president of the literature club, and I guess sort of our friend in this instance, but you're not a moderator of my relationship with Natsuki, so get out of this conversation. I just saw her rush out like that. You didn't do anything terrible, did you? Hand on the hip, signaling righteousness. I'm not falling for it, Monika. Yeah, okay, actually he is falling for it. No, Brady's not falling for it. Anime Brady's, he's lost in the loop. I just told her that my voice gets caught in my throat. He is actually feeling in trouble. She is not anything to you right now. She is literally just another person in the club. There's no way I could tell Monika that why? Why not? This is actually where like diffusion would come really in handy, right? Let's say Anime Brady came in to see real life Brady for therapy. And he said, I feel like I'm unable to get close to this person that I like because there's this other individual who like intimidates me or makes me feel bad. And I would say to him, well, you're feeling like you did something wrong because Monika sort of pushed you to that, but you didn't do anything wrong. How you're feeling about it is because you're fusing those ideas. Get over it, Anime Brady. Monika sees the poem lying on the floor and swiftly picks it up. She reads through it. This is not your moment, Monika. It's not your moment. Her smile not fading from her face. I see. You wrote this for Natsuki, didn't you? Yeah. Great detective work there, Monika. You've nosied your way into a situation that's not about you. Okay, I know that's a hard thing to accept. now I'm being excessively mean to Monika. Well, this is the moment to be skeptical of her if I didn't already know how this was going to turn out. I have been through my stages of sympathy for Monika, and we will return to them as well. I was thinking, and you let me know if you'd be interested in this, of when we do get back to the room with Monika, of going through more of her dialogue and just giving her an episode. Because she kind of doesn't get her own route, and that kind of sucks for her. And I didn't go through a ton of her dialogue because the episode was already like 2 hours long. But once we get back to it, how would you feel about doing like just like a Monika show? Just a Monika show, okay? And she can have all of our attention, and we can read through all of her little things. And if I give her that moment, then I can sort of justifiably squeeze her out of these moments where it's really not her time. It's not the Monika show right now, Monika. It's not your show. I mean, not really. In fact, didn't she like your poem a lot the other day too? I'm surprised you know her taste so well already. Why should that surprise you? This Anime Brady is actually a fucking scholar of emotion. He really understands this stuff. Are you sure you're not cheating, Brady? Is she talking about looking at like the poem list? Cheating? What do you mean by that? Never mind. I'm just kidding. I didn't understand Monika's joke at all. Anyway, how do you think Natsuki feels about you? Oh, you don't need to answer that. It was just something for you to think about. Hey! Natsuki comes up and snatches the poem out of Monika's hands. Yeah, that's right, Monika. It's not your show this time. I cannot believe she just burst her way into the Natsuki route like this. Neither of us had noticed her re-enter the classroom. Did you read this, Monika? Of course. I liked it. You should really stop reading things that aren't for you, you know? Oh, okay, wait a second. I mean, just moments ago, this was like a brand new thing to Natsuki, and she's like now getting very possessive over it. Well, she's not wrong about this. You have a bad habit of doing that. But Brady wrote this poem. And we're supposed to share with everyone, right? Natsuki freezes. She apparently forgot that my poem is technically for everyone to read. Oh, it's technically true. I have to hand Monika back some grace for that one. God, but she's just so smug about it. Okay, well, I think Brady's done sharing this poem with everyone. Ooh. It's not like anyone would want to read this anyway. In fact, I'm just going to hold on to this. Okay, so remember how I said it was a really good thing for Natsuki to finally be given some positive attention and that she could sort of let her guard down? I think if she sort of stayed there, find a better center of her self-worth and self-esteem, but unfortunately, she has fused the thoughts of affirmation and appreciation that we've given her with like maybe an instant deep attachment to us, which could get dicey. If you insist. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Like what? Ugh. Never mind. Natsuki. I'll give you the poem, but that's still not very fair to Sayori. She hasn't gotten to read it yet. He's landing shots with me today, guys. Being all nice to fucking Natsuki and now like not leaving out Sayori. The real romance route is between me and Anime Brady this time. So what? Whoa! Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't you dare dismiss Sayori like that. I don't know why, but Sayori brings out like a country side in me or something. Well, I guess Brady is right, Natsuki. It's not fair if you don't let everyone finish reading it. I don't appreciate that Monika is correct here because she gets so fucking smug about it. Fine. Natsuki returns my poem. It's not like she's going to like it, though. Anyway, read my poem now. And no, I won't let you keep it. This is my only copy. Ooh, okay, so it's Amy Likes Spiders. We've been through this. Not bad, right? It's beautiful, Natsuki. It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies, and it helps people realize how stupid they're being. Like, anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Do you know people like that? Of course. It's about everyone thinks that doesn't matter. It could be about anything. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or a guilty pleasure. Something you're afraid if people find out, they'd make fun of you or think less of you. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares what someone likes? As long as they're not hurting anyone and it makes them happy. I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Well, you're definitely right. At least I can relate to that. And I'm sure a lot of other people can too. You know, I'm glad you can appreciate this kind of writing. I mean, I know I was talking about that yesterday, but I've been enjoying sharing my writing with you, so consider yourself lucky, okay? Thanks for being honest. What is that supposed to mean? I'm always honest. Jeez. Oh, and this tightness has come back, right? Because like that's like how she is when she's really insecure. I mean, if you feel the need to defend something, you're not really that secure about it. Especially if no one is attacking it, like currently. Just look forward to tomorrow too, okay? All right, I will. Who should I show my poem to next? Well, I'm gonna take a look at Monika's. Because I want to take another look at the context we missed out on last time. Hi again, Brady. That was kind of silly with Natsuki earlier, wasn't it? I'm glad the two of you have been getting along so well. That's one way of putting it. Anyway, I already read your poem, but you can go ahead and read mine now. I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Save me. Okay. This must be referring to the game. Save me, load me. The colors. They won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise. It won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaninglessness. To me, this now seems like reflection on the cycle of, wow, just being trapped in the game. Just this discovery of meaninglessness to all the sights and sounds that she's used to. In a way, I feel like I got more like literary depth out of them before I knew what they were really about, because I could sort of extrapolate the meaning versus like, I kind of know what she's thinking now. That's interesting how you engage with something different. We are going to move through this now since we've seen this part. We haven't seen rejection of Yuri, though. Are you still mad at me? For disrespecting Natsuki yesterday? Because reading this poem, now I know why you got mad at me. Because you prefer her writing over mine. It's really not true. Meaning, when I disrespected her, I disrespected you too, didn't I? Oh no. Yuri, you might be reading into this a little too much. How can I be so stupid? I always let these things happen. Ooh, see, I think that's more so a Yuri conflict. They would all benefit from some of this, like, detachment from the negative self-evaluation, but this is the big stuff that diffusion is really helpful for. I always let these things happen. That's like a very self-limiting narrative, right? And she's feeling a lot of shame and tension about it. A diffused version of this would be more like, I'm remembering all of the times that this has happened before, and I'm recalling the feelings I've had during those times, right? Like we're sort of just talking about it more as the experience of the memories rather than reliving them again. But if you can be impartial to them and say that, yeah, I have experienced this before and I'm thinking about those experiences, but what she thinks is happening is not really happening. She's not being scolded. She's not actually being stupid. She just thinks that she's being stupid and is feeling stupid. Whenever I think before I speak, I just come off as awkward and unlikable. There's just such a fusion of I'm awkward, I'm unlikable, I don't think before I speak. And the fact that it's so ingrained in what she's saying, diffusion would not be a simple tweak on just these statements. It would be a good start. Like I said, I would sort of reorganize those thoughts with her as she says them. But there's some deeper self-esteem work to do here when the thoughts are like this diverse. But it would definitely be one of the skills that I would start working on her with. But if I speak without thinking, the things I want to keep inside come out and make people hate me. So please, don't force yourself to be around me. I know this is what Monika wants, but it's not fair to you. When you could be enjoying your time with Natsuki and Sayori. Oh, this is an interesting difference between when we didn't choose any Natsuki words, she just flat out was like, do not speak to me. And when we've not chosen any Yuri words, it's not that she's rejecting us, she thinks we are rejecting her. Yuri, please. It makes it easier for me if you don't express any concern. Besides, I have my books with me. That's all I need. Yuri smiles sadly and puts her head down on her desk. I'm frustrated. I'm noticing feelings of frustration here. I don't hate her, but it's as if she's not capable of listening to me over her own thoughts. Very astute, Anime Brady. I sigh to myself. All I can do is accept that that's how she is. If she wants to be left alone, then I have no choice but to abide to that request. Very reasonable. It just immediately makes me happy. Oh, I like this one, Brady. It has some nice feelings in it. I'm glad. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. Oh, she is perfect. I cannot wait for the Sayori route. It's not very helpful, you know. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad. That's why I just go with my heart. Because we're going to work our way back to Sayori's route, I am going to go through this. But I love her poems. Oh, okay. I didn't necessarily mean to go that far. Where are we now? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone's expectant faces. I think this is where they're starting to discuss the festival stuff. I guess I don't really have a choice. That's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh, gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. Okay, so this is where they're just sort of discussing things that don't even happen. We're going to skip through it. Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival's coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait. I can do this. I can do this. All right. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monika. I'll do my best to get through it, if it's for the sake of the club. And impressing Monika. Why do you care? Then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two. Always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Jeez, guys. Don't make such a big deal out of it. I hated when he said this last time. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Brady. You don't have to say it. Whatever. Let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori's being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori. Sorry, I was spacing out. No wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to, Sayori fumbles with her words. So, let's just say that one day, Natsuki asked to walk home with you. What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Well, the fact that I'm going to say this twice breaks my feeble heart. But I will tell Sayori I will walk home with her when it is her turn for the one true route. This time I would walk home with Natsuki. Walking home with Natsuki, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, I think I'd be afraid of what she'd do to me if I turned her down. Isn't she so cute and fun to be around? That has nothing to do with what I just said. You admitted it. Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen. Well, maybe. I just like to think about it. It's not long before you... No, I can't. I'm not going through this again. Not yet. Please, not yet. Oh, God. Okay. This is where we're going to pause for now. What I think we will do, though, is make a save here. Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to do the trauma content from Act 2, but you all told me that there's lots of stuff that gets revealed about Natsuki in it. Since we've already done Yuri's and Sayori doesn't get an Act 2, what I will do is I will play through the third poem with Natsuki, save at that point, go back, do Sayori's poems, and then I will come back to this save that I make here or whatever, and continue Act 2 from the Natsuki route. And I will collect the Yuri stuff off camera or something so that I have the combination of the three. And then we will go through Act 2 with Natsuki and see what fucking weird shit happens. And that should bring us to the natural second endpoint of this playthrough before we get to the side stories. So, plenty still to come for the Dokis and all of us. I hope you enjoyed this second episode for Natsuki and look forward to the next one. I really do enjoy their dynamic and I'm excited to see where things go from here. So, thank you for watching. Be good to yourselves, and I'll see you next time.